Hey everyone, it's the Tarot Counselor. Today we're going to do a pick a card tarot reading on the coronavirus for June to see what's going on in your area. So depending on where you live and which deck of cards you're vibing with, you'll pick a, pile 1, pile 2, or pile 3, and we'll go through each of them in sequential, or you can go down in the description to fast forward to the one that you are resonating with for the area in which you live. So I'll give you a minute to go ahead and pick which pile you're resonating, pile 1, pile 2, or pile 3. And as you do that, I'll just mention that make sure you comment below with your zodiac sign to see what kind of energies are resonating both with this reading and then with each specific pile. And then if you like these kinds of tarot readings, so go ahead and subscribe to this channel. Like this video if you want, and then if you have any other specific concerns or need or help tarot reading with your own situation, look in the description below for links to see how you can work with me. Okay, so now we're going to go through and we're going to go check this out to see each one specifically. So let me plop these back here, prop this up so you'll be able to see them. And we'll start with pile 1. So if you've chosen pile 1 for your area, these are the cards that we have for you. Okay, so the first card we have here, so this is the Two of Wands. So the Two of Wands really says you've got a choice that needs to be made. So you can see two wands or staffs here, and then him having to make a choice between them. So two numerology is either things coming together or duality, so having to make a choice between two things. Since the wands deal with a fire sign, so this kind of deals with things that can be jobs, creativity, creation things. So that based on this reading, this kind of looks like, you, as in your neck of the woods, as you're looking for the coronavirus, you've got a choice to make. Do you really fully open up, or do you kind of stay closed? And what are you going to do? And obviously that impacts both your job and the people around you and your community both ways. So you kind of have a choice to make whether you do go forward and open up. It sounds like restrictions are being loosened or allowing this types of things to be opened up. It does say the next card is the Page of Pentacles. So because this is a fertile environment for new money, things in the physical world, physical resources, of which the Pentacles kind of show money or finances. So as if you make the choice for things to open up, you're naturally going to have more opportunities. People need to go out to eat again, or go back to stores or restaurants, wherever the case may be. So I think you've got between these two cards, you've got the Two of Wands saying there's a choice to be made and figure out how it is, and then the Page of Pentacles saying that it is a fertile environment for it. You have the green garb, which is kind of symbolizing the when you see green in tarot cards, that often means things that kind of correspond to your life path or things you're meant to be doing. Whenever you see kind of things growing in the background, a fertile field, that kind of says like where you are right now is the place to be, or where you need to be to grow right now. So it says that the area that you're in is going to be a fertile place to kind of continue to grow. But we don't want to miss is the third card here. This is the Five of Pentacles. So this is a short-term loss in money or health. So this says, while you have this choice, you've got kind of this duality to go forward with in both areas. So if you choose to open up and get commerce and everything going, that creates lots of opportunity for people, things that can help the community, help the the city, and get people back to work. However, on the flip side, by doing that, you do have some people who could potentially get sick. So if there's continue to be more outbreaks or things coming, the 5 in numerology is change. So if the change in this case for the negative, in short-term loss in money or health. So this would obviously be is if you do choose to open up, there's the opportunity that you could have more infections, more cases of the virus. So you may need to kind of close down, because you will see a spike in cases, even if it's not huge, moderate or could be controlled. It does affect people in your part of the world, and so you need to kind of balance between that, because the more opportunity you create, the more people that could get sick, then you may have to end up kind of going back into total shutdown. But as of right now, these are the individual choices that everybody needs to make on their own. So either you need to decide whether you're going to open up or you're going to stay closed. Both have different consequences. In this case, looks like your area, based on the restrictions, being loose or starting to loosen up, people are going to choose to start to open up, which creates a fertile environment for business opportunity and commerce that has been closed down, for people to kind of start their lives again, or get more connected with the community. Hopefully people who are out of work get back into work. But you need to watch out, because that is going to correspond with an increase in cases in your area, and some people are going to have some negative consequences from that, so which may need to cause a change to shut the whole thing down. But that's kind of the balance you have to make, and the duality that's going to occur from these two cards. So the net results or recommendations from this would be, as it looks like for your area, that definitely the choice has been made. You can see his hand grabbing one of the ones. The choice has been made that your area is going to start loosening restrictions, start to allow more things to happen. It is going to be very beneficial at first, but you do need to watch out for those who may be more affected than others from the coronavirus, because you are definitely going to have an increase in cases. So you got to find the balance of how do you do it in a safe manner, or as safely as possible, or as cautiously as possible. Otherwise, you're going to have big issues or big concerns with that. Okay. So those are those who resonate with pile 1. Those of you who resonate with pile 2, these are your cards here. So let's take a look and see here. So in pile 2 here, the cards that you have here, you have, instead of 2 of Wands, which you had in pile 1. For those of you who didn't join pile 1, but you can go back and check pile 1 if you want to see what's going on. But you have the 2 of Wands here. You have the 2 of Pentacles, which kind of talks. This is known as the juggler. So in this situation, you can see he's just trying to keep both balls in the air. So he's trying to juggle things as they are, which says, people are trying to juggle with trying to figure out how to maintain, the kind of life that they have, or try to open things up, get things back to work. But it says in your area things have been a concern, because it is literally the Ten of Swords here is what it looks like. So you can see someone staying awake at night. So things have been so bad in your area that there are people really, really worried about this virus and about the negative consequences of it. There are probably some regions or some piles that people will choose where the consequences haven't been so dire that people will just end up being restless and actually just want to get back out, or crawling, really craving to get back out. But what the Ten of Swords says is that, or sorry, Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords says that it is what it looks like is it's been relatively bad in your area, so that there are people who are really worried because they've seen some of the consequences from it, heard about in the news, or know somebody who knows somebody who may have been affected by it. And so they have big concerns of how do we start to open up, or how do we make sure that we keep people safe while keeping everything going. So since swords are deal with an air signs, that's your kind of communication, your thought processes. You can say that people have lots of concerns, lots of thoughts. There's going to be need for lots of communication. So as you try to juggle opening things up and getting things going, that people are going to need lots of specific communication in order to say, how are businesses opening up, what are the precautions they're going to be taking, how are they going to protect people, what are the safe ways to interact with the business, or whatever the case may be, so that people feel confident enough, despite their really worries, because it looks like things have been bad in your area, that they could actually feel comfortable going out again, doing things again, interacting with the community, and kind of trying to move life forward. Whereas, I guess, so the last card here, so this is the Knight of Cups. So what I would say is, as people juggle with the decision, kind of whether to open things, and people have lots of concerns, it looks like things will start to open up. So there are people, there will be new opportunities or options, maybe people who you haven't been able to connect with for a while. So these are, nights where you kind of deal with new messages regarding cups or your emotions. So some people sending you invites to say, let's get together, or let's go out to a restaurant, or let's start to have social lives again, or start to connect again as a community. So it looks like that comes with so knights are in general between page, knights, queens, and kings. Pages are like fertile environment for these things. Knights are like next step, like an inkling or initial step. Knights, I say, on this journey aren't the most mature, so they kind of rush into things. So you may get some really early invites or messages, or saying let's go do this, or let's go do that. but you need to think about the concerns that you have or people may have had in order what the precautions are going to be, because the knights tend to rush in. They don't care who the damsel in distress is, who's calling for help. They're just going to charge in there, rush in there. And so it might be too soon. So in some cases, you need to really think about the options and opportunities that are coming to you, because obviously every business wants to get going. Every bar, restaurant, or whatever the case may be wants to get back to as normal as possible so they can, get the business going again. But you need to at least be aware of the precautions are, because obviously not all the opportunities are going to look good. So if someone asks you to come to a restaurant that's fully prepared, and they can detail all the information about what they're doing to keep people safe, that sounds like something you could do. But if it's just a random bar that's going to have a huge party where, let's just blow it open and just have, try to get life as normal as possible, that might not be an opportunity you want to take, because they obviously are not taking the precautions or the steps necessary to ensure that everybody is safe going forward with this. So that's kind of how you want to approach this. So as your area is juggling with how to manage this, and everyone does have legitimate, valid concerns that and people need the reinforcement or the communication to make them feel good, make them feel better about that. Without that, they're going to continue to stay awake at night or worry about this, and then you are definitely going to get invites, messages, or hear things that are going on more socially to connect with people on a more emotional levels, like, versus the kind of the social distancing or the loneliness that people have. So it's going to be very tempting for people to go out and start to do lots of things, because they're going to, they've been super lonely or haven't been connecting with lots of people or getting that kind of social experience they've been craving. But not all opportunities are great opportunities, so make sure you're not hastily rushing into the situation like the knights would. You read about the precautions, kind of look through it. So a lot of times you can see whenever there's water and the tarot cards here, that kind of represents a stream that they need to cross, saying that there's some kind of a emotional hurdle or obstacle that you need to overcome in this situation. In this case, it would be the fact that all the concerns that people have from the Nine of Swords and being awake at night, or losing sleep over this, or seeing the consequences in the area, that people are going to want to feel more comfortable or feel confident in the situation, versus the fears that they have of things going wrong. And that's going to weigh into whether or not they do accept or decline any of these opportunities that come forward to them. So in summary, things are juggling in your area. Everybody's trying to figure out how to do things, but cautiously. Lots of people have completely valid concerns because things have been really bad in your area. And then there are going to be coming to you messages or opportunities, or invites for you to go out and meet people, join openings of places, or get together with friends. You need to really think through them and evaluate them to make sure that you're comfortable with the precautions that they're taking, or any of the steps that need to be taken to make sure that it is a safe place for you to go. Okay, so then we'll continue on. We'll get rid of these, clear this out, and now we'll go to pile 3. So if you've chosen pile 3, this is kind of what's going on in your area for June and dealing with the coronavirus. So here you have the 3 of Cups, the King of Pentacles, and the 9 of Wands. So going through this in your area, it actually looks like if you didn't join us for pile 2, you may want to go check out pile 2 as well, because there was some messages regarding the businesses juggling, businesses opening. If you go to pile 1, things are, it's more of an environment of things being open, but it looks like based on this in your area, this would be the most furthest ahead as far as, the aggressiveness. But people have some concerns, so we'll kind of get into that as we go through it. But the 3 of Cups really talks about 3 being numerology is a number about creation, new things, things coming together. So that's why you can see the 3 of Cups relating to water signs or your emotions. So this really talks about if you were to go out to, this is literally like the happy hour social kind of card. So if you were to go to happy hour with friends or opportunities like that, people generally are filled up by that emotionally, because you get this exchange of energies between people. So you can kind of feed off of your friends, or consult them for any issues you may have, kind of get that human connection that you want to have. And that's why they each wear kind of different colors to kind of go different things as far as the different energies or vibes that people will bring you as you connect with them on that level. So it says your area is probably the most furthest ahead as far as things being open and opportunities for people to get together and connect and have kind of social experiences or happy hours, whatever the case may be, or dinners, or whatever else to go out. As far as we've seen actually in these readings, if you want to go back and see pile 1 and pile 2, just for cross-referencing, we've seen a fair amount of Pentacles cards, kind of dealing with things, physical resources. Obviously that can be a lot of times monetary, but the fact that the King of Pentacles is here tells you that you're the most furthest along in this journey. Where hopefully, maybe the impact in your area wasn't as great, so businesses can come back very quickly, jobs can open up, money can start flowing in. So this says, you'll see some other ones had pages like the environment's good for this kind of stuff, but with the King already being here and things already being open, it kind of says that the economy is either still great in your area or still going to get a turnaround quickly, because people are able to get back to work, open things up relatively quickly, and it's fairly, I wouldn't say successful, but it's having a huge impact where people are ready for it. People are taking those opportunities. It's having a big effect on the local economy, trying to get back to as normal as possible. So if that means people are getting hired and having jobs and all the things we want to have happen. The cautionary tale for this would be is the Nine of Wands here. So the Nine of Wands is someone who's very defensive, and they're kind of preparing, almost like building a wall here and so forth. So what this says is that even though things may look the most open compared to the piles, if you want to go back and see those, but there are some people who are concerned just on the outside, seeing all this going on and seeing like, well, things are getting so back to normal or so open, or people are not taking lots of precautions, or almost ignoring that it didn't happen, or that had some consequences. But there are people in the periphery who are very worried about that and are being prepared, almost like feeling like everyone's too optimistic or too far ahead, saying, if you keep behaving like this, you're obviously going to have some consequences, because I just don't see people wearing masks anywhere. Too many things are open. Doesn't look like almost life as close to back to normal as we would expect for this type of time. So people are saying that obviously that's going to lead to tons of spikes, and people are going to need to be prepared immediately. So you may have some people already stocking up on if it's toilet paper runs again or anything like that. But some people are saying, oh, it's obvious that we're probably going to have to go to some kind of shutdown again or something like that, because people are almost being not too reckless, but they're just throwing caution to the wind, and they're just so ready to get back to life as normal, socializing as normal, or business as normal as possible, that there are people who are really worried about this on the sides, and they're trying to really prepare out of fear that we're going to kind of end up in another situation where we're going to have to revisit or re-shut down or do other things like that again, so that they have significant worries, significant fears of things going on. So in this one, you have all the opportunities you want for the social connections, happy hours, social connection, whatever you want in your area. Business seems to be almost as close to back to normal as possible in this environment, with businesses doing well, hopefully people getting back to work, and the economy kind of working in your area. But there are people on the edge or the periphery who are seeing this going on, getting so nervous that they're starting to make preparations for things coming to an end. And 9 in numerology would be, endings or completions, end of a cycle. So they're almost worried that this cycle of, opening and joy, or whatever the case may be, socializing, may be coming to an end, because you're going to have to shut it down again for another round of infections or anything like that near you. So these are the kind of messages that I have here for the coronavirus for your areas for right now in June. And I think if you have other specific concerns or more specific concerns or want more clarity, check the links in the description below to see how you can work with me and get your own personalized reading. We do 3 cards, as low as like, $10 and so forth. So you can, get an opportunity to see how you resonate with me, or see what's going on in your area, or get some information on a situation or concern that's bothering you. Other than that, those are the 3 piles to choose from to kind of get the energies going on in your area, your neck of the woods, what's going on in your locality. And I hope they brought you lots of clarity, insight, resonated with you, and gave you some insight as to what's going on in your area, and also the precautions you may need to take to make sure that things aren't going too far or being pushed too far, that it could cause more safety concerns in the future. Thanks.